Adrian Newey is out.
Jonathan Wheatley is in. Bye-bye, Audi. Hello, Aston Martin. Let's go.
What's up, Venkas?
How's everybody doing? I am pumped. Because when the on-track action is not happening, the off-track action is feeding us. It's feeding us.
That's right.
Wow. 4 months, Brian. The greatest F1 designer, arguably ever, has made it 4 months. You know what this reminds me of, Brian?
Yeah.
A couple of things. Chris Rock, grand opening, grand closing. But you know what else it reminds me of? This is like giving Anthony Scaramucci. Remember him?
Yeah.
Remember White House press secretary? He came in a blaze of glory. He lasted like 11 days. I mean, obviously he made it more than 11 days, but I think this is like, has his team principal ever been, especially one of this renown, ever been fired this quickly? I mean, this is crazy. And the thing is they said, no, he was never going to be in for this. That is such bullshit, because when you do that, when a guy is only an interim guy, you always say he's a temporary guy, or you say interim head coach. You always put a fucking qualifier there. They didn't put no qualifiers there. There was I will be assuming the role of team principal. I am the captain now. Hey, look at me. I am the captain now. There was that vibe to it.
Which we called at the time, which we said at the time, this is a weird move from Adrian Newey. Why the hell is the greatest designer in Formula One, who seems to not really like people or marketing, taking on this additional role of team principal? But we said at the beginning, just so you are all caught up, Adrian Newey is officially out of his role as team principal at Aston Martin. He is still... he's a part owner of the team, a decision which who knows how Lawrence Stroll feels about that at this point. So you can't kick him out, period. But he is no longer...
He's still going to be designing the car, probably.
Yes, but he's still in the team principal... he's no longer in the team principal role. Now what we are hearing is that Jonathan Wheatley will be leaving his role at Audi to head to Aston Martin. Unclear when that will happen, because there will be a guaranteed at least some type of gardening leave. So in the interim, we will have another interim team principal. That is not out yet, because this is an emergency episode. The news just dropped, so we're bringing to you first on the scene. There are now reports that Wheatley and Binotto weren't exactly getting along, because it's a little bit of a bizarre move, as I see it, for Jonathan Wheatley. Like, why, if you're Jonathan Wheatley, why would you go from an Audi Works team, which, they've had, one driver not start one of the races of the first two races, but they've showed some promise, and it's Volkswagen Group, it's, as Gunther would say, it's the second biggest car manufacturer in the world. Formula One bent over backwards to try to make it, to get Audi into the sport. Why would Jonathan Wheatley leave to go to the absolute shit show that is Aston Martin? But now these reports are coming out that he and Binotto maybe weren't getting along. Obviously, Wheatley and Newey worked together for years at Red Bull. Who knows what this situation will turn into, but it is absolute chaos in the world of Formula One.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing, when you say, why does this guy go into the Knicks, right? Because, you want that challenge. You want to make it happen. And I also think it's the same. Wheatley's going there for the same reason Adrian Newey took the team principal job, because you want that control. It's so seductive, right? So seductive.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Newey was like, probably, if he's for so many years, he's been under these autocrats, right? He was under Frank Williams. He was under Ron Dennis. He was under Christian Horner. And the whole time he's like, man, like maybe one day I could be in charge, right?
Yeah.
Right. He was Da Vinci, right? I think of him like Da Vinci, right? He was always underneath the auspices and the patronage of a tyrant.
Right.
That would take care of him, right? A patronage system, right? And he kind of got resentful. He's like, well, I don't want to just be an artist, right? I don't want to just be painting the Sistine Chapel. I want to be king. I want to be king and an artist. And it's like, no, bitch, you're just an artist. But and then he saw the opportunity.
Guess what? You got what you know. What you got what you asked for.
You're right. Heavy lies the fucking crown. And what he doesn't realize is it's like, dude doesn't. That's the thing. He's a sensitive artist. He doesn't like people. He's a misanthropic guy. And then, and then what happens? First race, he gets to Australia. You're a front-facing person. You have all these complicated relationships. What's the first thing he does? He's like, fucking Honda. Am I right, you guys? Engine partner sucks. Yeah. Okay, let's just break this down. He throws not only his engine partner, but his Japanese engine partner, the most like face-saving, shame-based cultured people under the bus, right? The last people you ever want to humiliate are the fucking Japanese. Oh my God, these fucking they suck. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, he's got no
bedside
PR
manner.
training,
He's got no bedside manner,
no EQ. Why? Because he's been locked in a fucking room this whole time sketching.
Yeah.
Sketching. You know? He's like
now they're trying to make it seem there's these reports that, this was never really the long-term solution, but someone had to do it. There's rumors.
Are they gonna wheel Mike Crack back out there? Like, who, they got like three guys on ice that they're going to have to wheel back out there. It's amazing. This is amazing. I'm so happy this happened. This is, mwah. It's delicious.
Well, and I got to say, we fucking called this shit, dude. We called this shit. The second that we heard that he was going to be team principal, we said, this is going to be a shit show, and all the hype around him and all the hype around this, like, the Newey advantage, the second I heard that he was going to be team principal of this team, I said, this is a mess. Because that's ego. Right? That's ego getting involved. We're not just interested in like making the fastest car. We're not just interested in winning. I'm interested in getting exactly what I want. And then you're losing the forest with the trees.
People like Adrian Newey should never be in fucking charge. I'm so happy because honestly, dude, the whole world is being run by those fucking nerds with no EQ, no bedside manner, who want to like build the thing and run the thing. Right. No, let's go back to the era when the fucking guys with like EQ and fucking the businessmen ran things. I think we need to start going back to that because like the founder creator, the founder creator thing. We've now experimented with that. That's no better than the like corporate guy who has charisma and just knows how to keep the trains running on time. Right. I think we're done with the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world. I think we're done with that now.
I'm also this is so satisfying to just watch like a billionaire attempt to buy a reality and it just not, and for it to just blow up in his face. For like Lawrence Stroll to be like, but I built the warehouse and I have the
wind tunnel.
The wind tunnel. And I got Adrian Newey. He's the smartest one, and he wanted to be team principal, so I let him be team principal. Like, why is it not? And this is like, I mean, in modern history, this is like up there as the most embarrassing car that's been put on a Formula One track. I mean, this is like it's amateur.
Well, it's the equivalent of like a movie studio that was like hired all the best actors.
Yeah.
They got Hans Zimmer to do the score, right? They got the best director, they got everybody, right? They got Aaron Sorkin writing the script and it just fucking flopped. And you're looking at it like, how? They spent $100 million on the budget, $100 million on marketing, Scarlett Johansson, Denzel Washington, they put the poster is like crazy. And you're just like scratching your head because I think, and it goes back to like making choices, right?
Yeah.
When you have and Gunther talks about this a lot, right? When you have unlimited money, you don't make choices. It doesn't force you to be decisive. It doesn't force you to like make decisions. And he was saying it like, and I think we've seen this because some of the best seasons they had were like Otmar Safnauer's Racing Point. But when Otmar, like they finished 5th, I think one year when they were like in administration. And it was like, because like you had to be really precious and you had fewer people. There was less bloat. There was less bureaucracy. Like you had to be really decisive. You had to be really lean. And then what happened? They got worse when Stroll took over and turned it to Aston Martin and threw a bunch of money at it. Like somehow they got worse.
And dude, we've been in that paddock. We've seen like the entranceway to that paddock has these like LED screens. Like they've spent millions of dollars just on the entryway to the paddock.
Some guy told you that, right?
Yes, and it was a lot of money, and they spent millions and millions of dollars to just have the entranceway to get into the garage like look cool. And it's like if you can think of anything like waste, fraud, and abuse, like I mean, it's like this is where Doge should be, is like, why do we have the LED entrance to the fucking garage? And I think the whole thing is, it's just, I don't know, it speaks to a bunch of things because now there's reports also coming out that Andy Cowell, who had been in the role before Newey, replaced him and stepped in. There are reports now, this is from Planet F1, Cowell had been team boss at Aston Martin, had been tempted out of years-long sabbatical of F1 to take up the senior role, but following Newey's arrival, it is believed he was believed to have fundamental disagreements with him on the direction of the team's development and focus. Perhaps not surprising, given Cowell's background is in power units, while Newey's is in aerodynamics. Cowell thus found himself moved aside with his new responsibility falling in the area of power unit integration. So
Cowell probably was like that chassis is not going to fit that engine. It's not going to work.
And Newey was like, but I wanted to.
No, but you know what it is? It's like we've said this before. We said this before where it was like, it's like the Steve Jobs thing. Just like make it work.
Right.
And that's okay when it's like we're releasing the iPhone when I say we're releasing the iPhone.
When we feel like it.
When we feel like it. We release it when you make it work. But like, when the F1 calendar is not waiting for you to make it work, then you can't be Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs only works when like the reality distortion field or whatever it was that he did.
Yeah.
Like that only works when you control the calendar.
Yeah.
And you can convince the shareholders of the board to like be patient. Yeah, it's just it doesn't work otherwise.
No, the whole thing is a mess. They're trying to make it seem like this was maybe always part of the plan. If they were doing well, this would not be happening. This whole thing is completely embarrassing. Who knows? Maybe this is the necessary cutting off of the maybe they had to cut off the limb to save the body. You know what I mean? Like sometimes this needed to happen. Maybe Wheatley can get in there and start making these choices, though. I'm still dumbfounded by that move, even if he and Binotto weren't getting along. Still seems crazy to me that he's going to make this move, given the chaos that's happening over there. But
it's interesting.
The season just keeps going bad for worse for Aston Martin. And
dude, they did 2 races.
Insane.
Isn't it awkward though? Isn't it awkward though? Like isn't it awkward? Like you go from team principal and back to not.
Yeah.
Is it good though? Because now he's like been cured of it. Now he won't be wondering the grass is always greener on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
Is that
well? He's tried his shit and it obviously didn't fucking work. So maybe he can go back to the drawing board and they can actually like figure this out. Because the first step to solving a problem is admitting that there is a problem. And, at least this is the step maybe in that direction. But I don't really care about that right now. I'm just kind of, this whole thing, I am finding satisfaction in. I feel horrible that Fernando Alonso, in his last years in Formula One, has to deal with this bullshit. Buy our free Alonso shirts right now, theredflagspod.com. There will be a link in the bio. Free Alonso. Let's put Alonso on Alpine, get Colapinto maybe over to Aston Martin, and then maybe we can see what that can happen over there. But this whole thing's so funny to me. It's just funny to me. It's just funny to me that this billionaire has spent all this money, bought the team. It's Aston Martin now. Fuck Racing Point. I have the facility. I have Adrian Newey. I have all the shiny things, but the meal still fucking sucks. You know what? You know what it kind of feels like? You know what it kind of feels like? Brooklyn Beckham's cooking. This whole thing feels like a Brooklyn Beckham meal.
Why stop at his cooking? Why not continue on with his photography?
His photography. The Brooklyn Beckham endeavors, because there's a guy who'll break down okay, let's get the fanciest pasta ever. Okay, let's absolutely ruin it by burning the shit out of it. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, let's get the cheese that costs about $100 an ounce. Let's just pour that on there at the wrong temperature. Let's burn the shit out of that. Okay, great. It's he's got all the
ingredients
and the meal fucking sucks. I'm living for it. This year is
amazing.
Chaos.
But it's amazing. Also, what we're seeing from the Wheatley thing, what we're seeing on the Wheatley angle, it's the same situation. It's a guy who wants more control. He's literally running from Audi into a burning building because he wants more control. That's what it's all about. These guys crave control. Wheatley, he's falling into the same trap. Wheatley's falling into the same trap. Because it's like this really, it's like I can fix him. This really hot, narcissistic dude that's just trashing every relationship.
Yep.
And Newey's like, no, I can fix him. It's like, no, maybe you can't fix him. Maybe you can't. But so
dude, remember when they were getting podiums 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
because they were stealing from Red Bull, and then they took that away. It wasn't even. Right. It wasn't. That was the one.
Wasn't even real.
That was the highlight of my life. Was when Alonso was getting podiums.
When they were cheating. Cheating.
Because they were allegedly cheating. Who gives a shit? It was awesome. And then remember they had the green Red Bull cans.
Yeah, of course.
Fucking Red Bull had to ruin my one good thing that I had that year.
Well, then they finally stole Red Bull's engine provider at the worst time.
The worst time.
Anyway, this is chaos. There will be more news on this space. They just had to pop on here for an emergency episode. Get our free Alonso shirts right now at theredflagspod.com. Next week, we're going to be doing a This Week in F1 where we will be covering this along with all the other news coming out of the Formula One world. But just had to pop on here for this one because it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. And it feels so good to be right. It feels so good to be right.
Yeah, it happens so seldomly. So
that's right. Got to do a victory lap. Okay, Venkers. That does it for our emergency episode. We will see you on Monday.
Goodbye, Venkers.
I'm a boss. I'm a red flag heavy hitter. I'm a man.